love Zeppelin, man. I love Zeppelin.
I love Led Zeppelin.
Best band of all time.
Led Zeppelin was the biggest band in the world for about 6-7 years.
Everything they ever did is just the greatest. It's timeless.
Just an amazing, amazing band. The sound, everything.
So enamored with Led Zeppelin, everything that they are musically, lyrically, their whole story.
The Day the Song Remains the Same came out in the movies in 1976. There was a line around the whole theater. And I remember getting in there and sitting with my brothers up the back row. And all of a sudden the movie, the actual, when they kick in on stage, rock and roll, I went.
I didn't really come to know Zeppelin fully until probably my late teens, really. And I was born in 71, so their heyday was way gone by the time I was really starting to enjoy it.
If you were born after like 79, you had no chance of even seeing them. A lot of us young people didn't get to see them.
What's amazing is how many people of that generation who never got to see them.
It's so hard to assimilate what Led Zeppelin did. To just say I can play music and I can do what Led Zeppelin did. Page, Plant, Bonham and Jones, what those guys did.
They're the greatest, most diversified rock band ever. No one's ever sounded like them, and no one ever will.
I was playing a lot of Zeppelin stuff at 15 very well. I was thinking, this is going to be my life. I'm going to learn this stuff, and I'm going to wear those outfits, and I'm going to make millions, as a little kid. You get to 16, you think, well, that's impossible. It's already been done. There's no such thing. How am I going to go out and do this? It's already, And I was bummed. But suddenly, a couple of years later, tribute bands are becoming, many years later, actually. They're becoming the big thing, and suddenly I'm touring in a Led Zeppelin band, doing exactly what I dreamed of doing.
We came together by accident. All of us grew up in different parts of the country. So, we had no idea that this was going to happen. We didn't, everything we've done wasn't really contrived at all. Our idea of doing it was suggested to us. We didn't grow up as, like I said, we didn't grow up as buddies in high school and say, well, let's get this together. Like, there's a lot of other tribute bands out there that do that. They go, well, let's do this, And I think a lot of times they say, well, because these guys are doing it. Well, but it's a total different thing. We were already playing and doing things, and our focus was not on doing this.
The singer and I had moved out to California from Texas, and with the intent of doing, writing songs and, the brass ring, getting the record deal. But we also wanted to be making a living at playing music. That was the bottom line. And we were told that we could do really well at this because we had showed this agent a video of our band in Houston, and it was just basically a rough idea of what we still wanted to do. And in that video we had a cover of some Zeppelin songs that we were doing, and it was just suggested that we do that because she was like, look, for what you guys want to do, you're a great band and everything, but the current climate of the music industry was not going to allow a band like us.
The industry really turned its back on guys like us around 95, and it was because it wasn't signing bands like us. And today it still is not. Nobody can say that anything's changed because I have not seen anything change. I've seen it get worse. If you wanted to be just a throw-down, blues-oriented rock band, there's no place for you. The industry doesn't want you.
And through doing a Zeppelin tribute, we could play for a living, do what we want to do. And, it's not exactly the thing, but, again, the bottom line was playing music for a living. So, here we are.
He's a falling on a mountain,
had people try and come into the organization who thought that that's what it was about. You get up there, you play music, and it's just, oh, it's so great, and it's nothing but a party, and it's not at all. We do a lot. We handle a lot of things on our own. I keep a lot of things together. I play 3 different instruments. I started out primarily playing bass. My father's a piano player, so there was always a piano in the house, and I've always played that. But I never really delved into it as much until we started this band. And of course, when I'm playing keys, I'm also playing bass pedals with my feet, and then getting into mandolin playing. And so those are all things that, I have to stay aware of. And because Zeppelin had all this different kind of music, and John Paul Jones played those instruments, I got to do the same thing. Very well can't have a Jimmy Page guy over there playing keyboards.
It is the springtime of my loving, the second season. I don't consider myself an artist, even though it says that on the contract. I don't really consider that because I'm not really creating the art. I guess I'm recreating it. Once I started playing the music, I started hearing things that I didn't hear when just listening to the recording, because I was really, getting the fine line of it. And it took me, even vocally, it took me a while to get it down. I mean, there's still stuff that I'm doing wrong today. Yeah, I can say that, because I go back and listen to it, and I go, man, I was, it might be 2 notes, but I was doing it wrong.
You can never quit learning. You can never quit trying to perfect the whole thing. But at the same time, I never thought I'd be doing this with these guys. I spent my life trying to be as original as possible. Now, I'm trying to be as much like somebody as possible.
Actually, I learned guitar doing Page, so my expressions when I play, my move, my style is always like that, but it's a little more demanding and stressful having to portray another person on stage all the time. And having to dress like them and having to act like them that's pretty hard when you think about it. I kind of feel more like I put on a pretty good Page show as he is today, with the all black outfit and the shorter hair and the gut and the it's like I've lived the 70s Page, and the look I will never gain back as far as being skinny as a bone. And so sometimes that's rough on stage, knowing that. It's hard to get up and imitate somebody and be somebody else that you're obviously not. That's got to be the most roughest thing for me now than the actual what I'm playing, to where most anyone else, it's, how did you learn to play all that? And I've met people who are famous who've come up to me, man, I've tried learning that stuff my whole life. How did you learn it? Well, I just practiced my ass off. I ditched high school not to go to the parties like all my friends. I went home to break into the house so I could play my guitar that my mom took away from me because I got a bad grade while she was at work. That's what I used to ditch school for.
Mic, test, testing, testicle, check, 1, 2. This one goes out to the lady who never noticed the gong. She's been seeing us for years and said, where did you get the gong? I never saw you. I was just listening. That's a hell of a bartender to serve drinks with no sight. Let's kick ass.
I've heard Matt say that we've got 5 good years left in us. That would make the band 16 years old. It's already been around longer than Zeppelin, or as long as Led Zeppelin. So, and I know that Zoso's played more shows, because Zoso's relentless on the road, up to 200 shows a year.
We probably take exactly, as far as vacation time, probably about 2.5 weeks a year. The other are just down days. So we average 15 shows a month.
It's rough being on the road. It's like the first month, it's like, yeah, I can do this, this is great. The second month, it's like, when am I getting home? And I'm just being honest about it. That's the number one thing that kills me. Traveling, living out of the bag gets a little old for me. I get homesick very easily, very homesick. I get anxiety. I have anxiety problems sometimes on stage where I start sweating at the palms at the first song, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta get off this stage. What am I doing here? I've been doing this for years. Why am I having a problem right now all of a sudden? And that attacks me after being out so long without going home. If I can go home after every week of shows, I would be happy.
I'm at the mercy of the employees a lot of times. No matter what I say, no matter what the offers are, they still do what they're going to do. And it's really frustrating when I can't reach someone who's having a problem, and they can solve it. It's nothing difficult. We've really been at the mercy of people's attitudes over the years. That's why there's been band member changes. No one's ever gotten fired from this band. People have left it. And it's really hard for us because with what we're doing, Jimmy Page is not an easy guy to cover, and those guys just don't grow on trees. After our second guitar player put in his notice, we put in ads all over the country, and we probably had about 80 guitar players in 4 months get in contact with us. Out of 80, there were probably 20 that had the ability. Out of the 20, you probably had 10 that could do it. Out of the 10, 2, maybe 3 would do it. It's amazing.
The role is very important, and very important to Matt too, because Matt, he believes that I'm the best at what I do, which was this, over anyone that else has been in the band. It's like, well, no, you're the man for it. So I don't know. I take that as a compliment.
I wouldn't go out and I wouldn't recommend being a musician to a lot of people. When people say it's a hard road, they're not even scraping the surface. I'm not only the singer in the band, I manage the band, driver, roadie, guru, payroll, clerk, and I do all the things that are necessary in keeping the band going. But most of all, the biggest role I play is to keep the morale of the band as high as possible, to give everybody something to believe in and a reason to believe it. And as long as I set a foot, forward first, they usually follow. Because if I go down, everybody else goes down. So why would I want to do that to myself?